Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the class of Business Correspondence and Reporting. We're doing chapter number 3. I hope you all are coping up well. You have been practicing well. Whatever we've been discussing in the class, I hope you are matching up with the pace and practicing also. Yes? Okay, so we started with chapter number 3, and I started telling you about that how important is vocabulary for all of us. Grammar is, of course, one thing, but vocabulary is something that builds the language. That is the base of any language. If you don't know the words to be used, if you don't know the vocabulary to be used, how will you use the grammar? Right? Yes. So, enhancement or enrichment of vocabulary is very important for any language that you speak in. Right. So in the last class, we discussed about, what are the ways in which all ways you can develop your vocabulary, how you can build your vocabulary, why vocabulary is important, what all types of vocabulary that you need to know, right? And we also started with connotations, right? And I discussed connotations with you quite in details. And I also told you that in the next, and jargon words. So jargon words you should know. That is very important for every profession. You should know to hold an engaging conversation, to hold interesting conversation. You should know about the jargon words, the words that are related to your profession. Am I clear? Connotations, I will just give you a quick revision. Connotations, like we discussed in the last class also, that connotations is basically the suggested meaning of a word. That how a word carries some suggested meanings. They're not the literal meanings, but they are the suggested meanings, right? The meaning of the word could be in the sense of positive, it could be in the sense of negative, it could be in the sense of neutrality. And you should know which word to use when, so that you are able to express yourself clearly and you are able to use the right context, and you can fit in the word according to the situation, the circumstances, and whatever you want to say it. In case you are listening to someone, if you do not know the suggested meaning of any word, you might not even get what the other person is trying to tell you. Maybe the person is complimenting you and you take it in a negative sense. Maybe somebody is giving you a negative, commenting something negative to you, and you might take it positively. So it's very important to know, and there's the importance of connotations, that you should be aware of something words as simple as, like, last time we discussed plump and fat. If somebody is calling you fat, you might take it, in a very negative sense. But if somebody calls you plump, it's in a very good way, right? Somebody's not body shaming you, but they're saying it in a very good way, right? House and home. If I give you another example of house and home, home gives you a very warm feeling, right? It tells you about, it gives you a warmth of a family, relations, and emotions. But what is house? Both mean the same. But when I call something a house, that means it is just, four walls, right? There's no warmth. The word doesn't have a warmth in itself, right? So do you say that I'm going to my house, or you say I'm going to my home? You will always use the word home whenever you're telling someone that you're going back home, or house, right? You never say I'm going to a house. But yes, if you are talking about somebody else's house, I will be visiting my aunt's house today, right? You are not emotionally attached to that house, right? For you, it is just a house, your aunt's house. But when you're talking about your own house, you call it home, you don't call it a house, right? So I hope you understand how vocabulary works and how we use it. Yes. Am I clear? So are you ready to start with today's class? I hope your study materials are ready with you, your pen, your pencil. There will be a few things that might not be in your study material, but I will be writing on my writing board. In case you want to, note it down, please do that. It would help you when you're preparing. It would also help you, to, grasp the concept, so that you don't forget it later. Like I say, and like I repeatedly say, whatever we are doing in this particular subject, business correspondence and reporting, it is not something that is limited to your exam. No, this is something that you should know, no matter what you do, no matter where you are in future. This thing will help you for sure. So we're just reinforcing. For some students, it might be just reinforcement. For some student, it might be something new, Either ways, you should be well versed with these concepts in your life. Like, this is how you will improve in your language. This is how you will be working ahead. Are we clear? Yes. One thing that I want to, after the last class, I realized that there's something that I did not tell you about, and something is very important. Something that you have not heard even your teachers suggesting you, which is kind of wrong. I don't know why in India we don't suggest such things to students who are learning a new language. But this is something that I've learned over the years. This is a practice that has been followed in foreign countries also. So whenever you're learning a foreign language, right, if there is any word that you don't know, you may or you may not want, so you can look the meaning of the word in your native language. Why I'm suggesting this is that when you look up a foreign words meaning in your native language, you grasp the word better than if you're looking for the meaning in the same language, right? You might, so maybe you are a beginner in learning English language, right? English is not that easy, so but you have to work towards it. And if you're learning, if the language is new to you, you're finding a meaning of a one particular English word and you're finding the meaning in another in English only, you might not grasp or you might not register the entire meaning of that word. But if you look up the meaning in your native language, then you will learn the word better and you will learn the word quickly. This is the practice that we don't follow in India. We don't follow it in schools whenever we are teaching English language or any other language for that matter. But in internationally, in international schools, this practice is followed, right? So somebody who's learning English in Korea or maybe China or maybe in Japan, they are suggested from their early childhood education only that they can look up the meaning, they can know the meaning in their native language, so that the child or the children register the meaning, right? For example, even if I'm talking to a toddler, I explain the meaning in Hindi, of course, right? If I explain the meaning in English only, how will the child get to know about the new word? The child can relate, like sit, beto. That means these are two words that mean the same. Sit is in English and beto is in Hindi. Am I clear what I'm trying to say here? So there is no harm whenever there is any new word that you don't know and you don't even understand the meaning in English also, please look up in your native language. That way you will build your vocabulary better. Clear? Sudesh, I did not get your query where you said learning English as language would not help, isn't it? Hmm, I don't know what it means, but what I am trying to understand here is that you are trying to ask me that if you look up the meaning of any word in English, that won't help you. No, I'm not saying that. That will help you. I am talking about the people who are beginners in English language, right? So if you are good with your concepts, if you know this language already, of course you can look up the meaning in English only. That would help you. I am talking about if somebody is a beginner in understanding this language or learning this language English. For them, I would suggest that they can look up the meaning in their native language. I'm glad if in ICSE that was not the rule, but I have not seen this practice quite often. I did not use the word. No, sit and seat, they're two different words. No, 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 no. Sit is the verb, seat is a noun. We're talking about a seat, I have booked a seat for you in this hall, right? But sit is the action here. So sit and seat, no. And you say pronounce it also in a different way. Root of words we will be doing. Prashant, I if you will ask me questions out of the context, how will I answer you? All right, so I think we're good to go and start with today's class. Today we will be starting with synonyms and antonyms. Are you ready for that? Let me share my screen. Okay. Now, oh my gosh. Okay. Synonyms and antonyms. Okay. Now, do you have a little bit of idea what synonyms and antonyms mean? Is there anyone who has a bit of an idea about this? Anyone at all? Okay, synonyms and antonyms mean that you are talking about. Synonyms mean that the words in synonyms, the words, there are a group of words that have a similar meaning. Similar meaning, not but similar. Okay. And in antonyms, it means that the words that are nearly opposite to each other. Not the exact opposite again, but nearly opposite. Am I clear? Yes. This is the basic difference between both the words. Am I clear? So synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms is basically the words that have a similar meaning. Antonyms have the words that are nearly opposite to each other. Am I clear? Yes, this is the basic difference of what synonyms and antonyms are. Right? Now, let's start with synonyms first. Okay, the words means welcome. Look at these words: welcome, accept, and gain. Now, if you look at the basic meaning of these three words means to receive. Am I clear? All the three words have a basic meaning of to receive. Right? If I make a sentence with welcome, I would say welcome. I welcome you to my house. Right? He accepted the book as a present. Right? Next is he gained I welcome you to my house. He accepted the book as a present. He gained entry in the house within 5 minutes. Okay. All three words have somewhere the meaning to receive. I welcome you to my house, that I've received someone to my house. He accepted the book as a present. That means somebody has received a book as a present. He gained entry in the house within 5 minutes, that he was received in the house within 5 minutes. Right? But all three words cannot be used interchangeably. No, they're synonyms to each other, but they cannot be used interchangeably. This is where the synonyms come into play. Right? Now, how does synonyms, with this, I would also like to bring you notice that no word ever means the same. No word in this language, English, can mean exactly the same. They're similar to each other, but they cannot mean the same. But you should know, if you want to use some other word You want to substitute any particular word in place of something else. So how you can use it. Am I clear? Yes. So these three words are synonym to each other. They have a subtle difference in their meaning. Hence, the usage changes. The way you will use this word in the sentence will change. You will use the word according to the context of a sentence. Clear? Yes. Are we clear about what synonym is? Any confusion so far? Now look at this word. Big and huge. I want you to make a sentence from big and one sentence from huge. Okay? Make one sentence each. Then I will explain you. Quickly make a sentence using one sentence using big and one sentence using huge, and then I will tell you the difference. And large. Let me give you one more word to you. Large. All three has something to do with the size, right? Big, huge, large. But how will you use these three sentences? Three words in three different sentences. Pranchal, whatever queries you have, you can just send it to me together once again. Towards the end of the class, then I will take it up. Okay. Uh-oh. Wait. Okay. I hope everyone is sent. I'm waiting for all your responses to come, then only I will discuss. Okay, so now if you see, the use of big, the use of huge, and the use of large is totally different, right? Can you say this person is huge? No. Yes. Or this lady is carrying a huge bag. This lady is carrying a big bag, right? Elephants are huge, right? Because they're big in size. Yes. Am I clear? This area is quite large, right? So the use, you can in this particular context, maybe you can use the words interchangeably, but it will not fit into the context, right? If you use a word huge for elephant, it makes more sense, right? All three words means similar to each other. But everyone has made sentences using their different. Can you say this room is large? Either this room is big or it is huge. She has made a huge mistake. Can you say she has made a large mistake? No. So you understand that how these words cannot be changed interchangeably. It's a big decision. Very good. Can you say it's a huge decision? No, it is a big decision. This cake is a big one. Elephant is huge. Very good. Is a There is huge number of sellers. No, there's large number of sellers. No, large number of people. No, it's a wrong sentence. There is a big building as compared to the old one. Good. There is huge risk in business. Good. Can you say there is large risk in business? There is big risk in business. Huge would make more sense. I have large teeth. No, I have big teeth, not large. Tom's eyes are huge. No, it's big. You are in a big trouble. Very good. Can you say you are in a huge trouble or you are in a large trouble? No. Add a large clove of garlic. No, add a big clove of garlic, not large. So large is basically when you're talking about something greater in size, usually bigger than, usually bigger than what you expect. Okay. Now, huge means something extensive of a great size, again, in terms of building, right? Some in terms of quantity, as in like scale, degree. Clear? And big is used in terms of something that is not small, that is great and large. But if you see, what I am trying to explain you here is that they all kind of mean the same. Yes, but their usage is different. The way you will use it in a sentence is totally different from one another. Are we clear here till here? Now let's discuss about, before I get into more, before I start giving you more examples, let me first make you aware with that why it is so important to have knowledge about synonyms and antonyms. Okay, first thing first, the knowledge about synonyms and antonyms is crucial for the enrichment of your vocabulary. Okay, why? Because if you know more words that can be used, that means similar, but you can use words appropriately according to the context, according to the sentence, that makes your sentence interesting. It makes your a sentence creative. It makes your sentence appropriate if you're using the right words, right? And it is always good. So if you know that one word can have several, one word has words that, several words associated that almost mean the similar, that automatically builds onto your vocabulary, right? For example, happy. Synonyms of happy could be delighted, glad, ecstatic. Uh, you can use more words like gleeful. There's so many words that you can use for happy, but not all words can be used in every context. So you have to pick and choose your sentence. But you know that you can use happy in so many ways. I will be sharing you the slide. You will be surprised to know that synonyms of happy should be around like 20 words. There are about 20 words that can be used, right? So if you know that those 20 words, then you are building onto your vocabulary, right? Similarly, if you know their appropriate antonyms also, then you again add on to your vocabulary bank. So basically the knowledge, the substitution of words, if you know how to substitute them, automatically you are on the process of enrichment of your vocabulary, right? Okay, now let's discuss about why and how they can help you. First thing first is it prevents monotony, right? So for example, you're writing a text to your best friend and you want to tell your friend that you're very happy, right? If you keep using the word happy, 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 happy in every sentence, your entire text will become boring and monotonous, right? But if you keep changing the word according to the sentences that you're using, according to the context that you're speaking in, it will make your even a simple text message interesting, right? And it will make, it will look creative, right? So if you want to wish someone on their success, right, again, you're using just one word about it, how happy you are for them, you're continuously using that word, again that will look boring and monotonous to the person who's reading. But if you're using different words in the same paragraph, one, it looks like that you have made an effort to write that message, right? And it makes the other person more interested to read your message. Am I clear? Otherwise, the person knows that you are happy. The one sentence is enough to say that. But if you're writing a big paragraph to express your feelings and express your joy, then you should be able to express it in a creative way. For creativity, you will have to use synonyms and antonyms for that matter. If you're using, writing a message in a negative context, then you should know the antonyms. Clear? With that, it leads to the next point, which says expression, right? The use of antonyms and synonyms makes you more expressive. It makes your that whatever you are speaking or whatever you are saying or whatever you are writing, it becomes more expressive, right? And also it also makes it creative and imaginative, right? Third is aids understanding. If you use some words, differently in a sentence, that it then the person who is reading or the person who is listening, he gets a better understanding of what you're saying, right? It can help you. Maybe they don't know the meaning of one word, but if you change it to another word in another sentence, they'll have a better understanding of what you're saying, right? Maybe they're confused about some word, but if you use another synonym in another sentence, they'll have a better understanding. It makes the entire text more understandable for the person who's reading or who's listening to you, right? Number fourth is provide options. You also have, as a person who's the writer or the speaker, you also have more options of words to be used, right? You are just not banking on to just one word to express your feelings. You have so many words to express your feelings, right? Now if examples here is that if I have to say that, I messed up, right? I can use the word mistake. Yes, I made a mistake. Error. I committed an error, right? See, these three was now I have an options of expressing that, I have done something wrong, right? So there are three ways of saying it. Yes, yes. Now, next comes the next, and the last point comes the effectiveness. Synonyms and antonyms basically, it adds on to the effectiveness of what you're saying. It makes your communication more effective, right? I told you this when I started teaching the chapter number 2 also. That first chapter was about communication. Now, to have that good effective communication, these two chapters are very important. Chapter number 2 and chapter number 3. The understanding of how to use the grammar, and the understanding of how to use vocabulary and how to build your vocabulary and how to use it effectively. Without these two things, you cannot have effective communication, right? To build or to have a effective communication, you need to know about synonyms and antonyms also, right? Am I clear? Any problem so far? Is it something that I've missed? No. Okay, so would you like to look at some examples before I proceed? In case there is any problem, you can send it to me. Somebody has sent it to me. Can we just use a simple emoji for happy? No, you cannot. Emoji is not part of the vocabulary, and that is not the formal way of communication. Not everywhere you can use emoji. Can you use emoji while speaking? No, you cannot. Okay, look at this. I've shared a PPT in front of you. Look at this table. This table actually tells you about the synonyms of advice. One word advice, and just look at the number of words that you can use as a substitute. Of course, depending on the context. Just go through it once and then I will explain you what it means and how we can use them. Yeah. Now, if you look at the literal meaning of advice, it means that you're giving a recommendation regarding some decision, or maybe, something, some piece of information regarding a particular thing, your own suggestion, or maybe your own opinion about it, that how the other person should go about it. So you're giving your advice, right? But if you look at the words here, now these all words mean similar, they don't mean same. Please remember this. They're all synonyms of advice, but they don't mean it same. Which is why, since all these words don't mean the same, hence they cannot be used interchangeably everywhere. No, you have to look at the context. You have to look at where we are talking and what we are talking, and then use these words. So now consultation. Now, when do you use the word consultation mostly? Maybe in the case of doctors. I have consulted a doctor. That means I have taken some doctor's advice of what is happening to me and how should I go about it. Yes, maybe I'm consulting a lawyer. I need some advice in case of a particular case. Yes. So you cannot use consulting everywhere. Can you say that I have taken my mom's consultation to do this? If I can do this or not? No, you use the word I have taken my mother's advice on this particular, how to go about it in case of this particular problem, right? Guidance. Now, guidance is also kind of advice. Somebody is just helping you how to go about it. They're giving you some recommendations, suggestions. So I can say I've taken my teacher's guidance. But can I say that I've taken my doctor's guidance? No. Right. And mostly in guidance, we use it in the context of maybe you want to take somebody's advice, or maybe you want to, need to know some recommendation regarding some career. You have problems choosing what to do next. Right. Or maybe you have a particular project and you don't know how to go about it, and you take your bosses or your immediate, some person's mentors guidance to understand that how you can finish this project, or how you can plan how to finish this project. Okay, just a second. Right. So are you understanding what I'm trying to say here? Now, if you see, there are about 20 words, maybe more than that, right? So if you know these 20-25 words, automatically you're building onto your vocabulary. These are just synonyms. Now, if we come to antonyms, the list will grow. Your vocabulary, the knowledge of your vocabulary will grow. So it's always recommended that you also look at the synonyms and antonyms also. You can go to thesaurus.com and you can just simply write the word, and you will have the list of synonyms and antonyms. Right? At times when we are writing something and I want to use the word differently in place of any particular word, I open thesaurus, I type that word, and I come up with so many suggestions of synonyms and antonyms, and I use it according to what I am trying to say. Clear? Yes. This I've already told you that synonyms have similar definition. No word means exactly the same. Subtle differences in emphasis, suggestion, and use, I am sure you have understood this by now, can be used interchangeably without changing the meaning of the context. It can be used interchangeably without changing the meaning of the context. See, I told you, happy has so many synonyms. There are about 20-25 words that you can use instead of just using a simple happy. Now look at this antonyms also. So there are so many antonyms of happy also: depressed, disappointed, disturbed, down, grave, melancholy, miserable, sad, serious, sorrowful, troubled, unfriendly, unhappy, upset, discouraged. Now all words cannot be used everywhere. Again, please look at where you are using it, and you have to use it appropriately. Otherwise, you will be expressing a wrong thought, and you will be conveying a wrong meaning to the other person. For example, I want to say that I am depressed that my phone is broken. Or if I want to say I am disappointed that my phone is broken. Instead of this, if I use, randomly, if I use the word discouraged, will it make sense? No, I am discouraged because my phone is broken. No. Yes, but I can use sad. I am sad because my phone is broken. I am upset because my phone is broken. I cannot use I am dissatisfied because my phone is broken. No. Yeah. I am hopeless because my phone is broken. No. So you go through these words and you use them according to what you want to say. Before I start with antonyms, let's quickly look at the exercise for synonyms. Look at these questions and tell me what could be the answer. You have to can you see in a sentence I have there's one word that is used in italics. Yes, so you have to replace that word with the appropriate synonyms which out of these three options that is given to you after each sentence. So quickly just look at it. Oops. Are you done with this? Are your answers ready? No, Neha, all three answers are wrong. Medichur, Niharika, your answers are correct. All three. Piswabandhu, your two are right, one is wrong. Okay, so the answer to the first one is trivial. Second is transgression. Third is torpid. Okay. Some of you got all three right. Okay, look at these three more examples. And then we'll quickly start with the antonyms. Done with the answers? Mm, okay. So the first one answer is thrifty. Uh, the second one is docile, not domiciles, docile. And the third one is stupendous. If you got all three right, please write down, because I feel that most of you have got two right out of these threes, any two. Okay, now quickly let me tell you about what antonyms are. Okay, so I've already told you the pair of words that that means similar to each other, but no opposites, or nearly opposite, not exact opposite, but nearly opposite. They can be used at prefix too. Some are used at prefix also. Prefix, suffix, I will explain you after this. Then there can be numerous antonyms of words. Now, there are three types of antonyms. One is graded antonym. Graded antonyms are those antonyms that they are kind of opposites to each other, but they are not exact opposite one. The weightage is also not enough. For example, if I'm calling someone fair and someone dark, yes, so dark and fair, you don't know how much fair and how dark, right? That is not the exact, right? So if somebody is not fair, that doesn't mean that somebody is dark, right? There are series of complexions. There's so many kinds of complexions we have. So they are those words, they can be used as antonyms, but they are not, they don't express the right thing. For example, if you're happy, you are sad, there's an exact meaning to it, right? If you're not happy, you are sad, right? But in case of fair and dark, they are those kinds of antonyms where you don't know the degree of, and they don't hold the equal weightage. So next comes the complementary antonyms, that the two words are always paired together mostly, and they are kind of equal in weightage also, like push pull. So push pull, they are used together and they have an equal weightage also in their, in terms of their effect and the meaning. Relational antonyms, when there are two words that are always and most of the times will be used together. For example, teacher, student, borrow, lend. Even the push pull will be kind of fall into this category of relational antonyms, because they have a relation together. There are certain words that are used together, right? Okay, I with this I want you to quickly look at this exam exercise of antonyms, and then we're going to close this. We're going to take a 5 minutes break, and then we will come back and start with root of words. Both are easy, very easy. Remember, in this one, you have to mark and pick the antonym from the options given below. The officer exaggerated the damage caused by rowdies. underestimated. Next, antonym of strict will be lenient. The answer of first one is excite. The other one is freedom. So pacify is when you calm somebody down. If somebody is angry and you give them appropriate a justification and explanation to calm somebody down. Excite is that of course you are encouraging them to say it. Substitute is being a slave, being trapped into something, and freedom is of course to set somebody free. Okay, the answer to the last one is commendable, and then it's complimentary. I hope antonyms were easy and you were able to answer all of them. So, if you're clear with this concept of synonyms and antonyms, please let me know that you're clear with it. And so, I'll take a 5 minutes break. And then after this, we will come back and we'll start with root of words and prefix and suffix. So, root of words and prefix and suffix will kind of go hand in hand. So, we will be taking both the topics together in the next hour. All right, let's join back at 12 o'clock. Yes. Yes, welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we finished the topics synonyms and antonyms. I hope both the topics are clear to you. Uh, Devraj, see. I know the words could be very difficult for you in one go, and it is just to give you an example. Wait a second, I'm just checking something. No, antagonize don't mean when you're making someone angry. It is, when you are alienating someone and you are making, in the terms of you're offending someone. But passive and excite is that you are encouraging someone to speak, right? The other one was, yeah, so somebody just asked me, these were very difficult for me, how to go about it. These were difficult for you, I am sure. I'm not denying that. The practice will only make you better. It will make you more confident, and it will give you an idea about these words. So the more you work about on your building your vocabulary, the better it will become. There is no shortcut to it. There is no shortcut to learn a language. There is no shortcut to learn a vocabulary. Like I just told you, even if you cram the entire dictionary, you wouldn't know how to use it. What is the point of cramming the entire dictionary, right? So even if you cram the entire dictionary, you should know how to use it. So for that, you will have to practice. You have to read. You have to write. You have to use the words in your public communication. Then only you will be building on it. Am I clear? Yes, and I told you, if you do not practice using the words in your vocabulary, all the new words that you have learned, you will forget about them. You will not know how to use them when it is required. Right? So there is no shortcut to it. I told you earlier also, building a vocabulary is a evolving process. It is a never ending process. Right? So having said that, you will have to work over it, and you have to go back to the first lecture that I conducted, where I told you that how you can develop your and how you can build on your vocabulary. Am I clear? Yes. Shall we start on to the roots of words? Quite an interesting topic. Okay. Now, the last topic that we have for today is the roots of words. Okay, now what is roots of the words? If I'll tell you in a plain language, the roots of the words means the origin of the words. It means the origin of the words. The word roots is self-explanatory in itself, that it means that how the language was developed, how the words came into being. And there is entire study around it, there's entire history to it, which we call it etymology. Now, etymology is studied by those people who are interested in knowing the history of, how the word started, what was the root of the words, and what is the meaning. How did this word became from this to this, and what does it mean? So there's an entire whole study to it. Okay, and that is totally different. That has nothing to do with you, but it also tells you about uh, the use, uh, then the changes in the form, meaning in linguistic, tracing the transmission from one language to another. Like in English language, many words come from Greek language and Latin language. Okay, there's so many words that comes from Greek and Latin, right? So you should know about the root of words, because that makes, as a beginner, root of words makes the learning of language easy for you, right? Now, how does the root of words actually help the non-native speakers? It helps you to break down the large words into smaller units. Okay, I will tell you again how this started and how this works. There is an entire example, and you will be amazed to hear that using one root of words, how many words you can construct again. The way you have an antonyms and synonyms and antonyms, in the same way, root of words. If you know the root of the word, you can construct so many words using the prefix and suffix. Now, what is a prefix and suffix? There's so many concepts. So one concept that we will be doing is root of words. The other two concepts are prefix and suffix. Prefix is the words that we add in the beginning of the sentence, and suffix is the words that we add in the end of the sentence, right? I will come to this later. Let's not confuse, right? So by adding prefix and suffix, you can grow and make the list of words using the root of words. But you should know what the root of word means first, right? The several words can be constructed using the words, right? Yes. So shall we start? But you should know one thing: the root words cannot stand alone. In most of the cases, they cannot stand alone. So they need either a prefix and suffix to complete the meaning. Right now, before I get into the theory part, let's look at this example, and then you will understand how root words play. The example for you is struct. Now, struct is a root word that comes from Latin language. Okay, and the struct word means built. The struct word simply means built. Okay, now you will see how many words I will be creating using the root word struct, which comes from Latin, and I will be making English words for you, right? And you will see how you can use, if you know the root words, you can construct so many words using prefixes and suffixes. Clear? Let's look at the first word. And by the way, I should tell you this: there are about 30 words that you can construct using a root word struct. Right? Let's start first. I won't be reading 30 words here, but I'll give you a fair idea of what I'm talking about. Let's start with the first word. If I add construct, if I add con in the beginning, it becomes construct. Construct is to build something. Yes. If I add suffix to it, ion, it becomes construction. Construction is the activity of construct is something. Am I clear? Yes, this is a second word that you can create. If I change the suffix, yes, so to constructive, it becomes constructive. To do something which is productive and constructive, the something is done and you can see the efforts being put in, right? You can make this as the adverb using ly. Fourth word is constructed. Yes, yes. Now let's come to another word. Destruction. Now, D means to destroy something. So what you have built, you are basically, reversing everything. That becomes destruction, right? The meaning has changed, but it has something to do with building and destroying it, reversing the process, right? So I have added a prefix de, and then I have also added the suffix ion, right? Now let's come to next. Instruction. I am building on to something, in terms of my words. Yes, I'm saying something to someone. Instructions, right? So basically, uh, there are three main words that I make from I. There are three main words that you make from struct. Am I clear? And then you can keep adding suffixes and prefixes. So to keep building on the words, suffix like ion, vi, uh, ly, right? So there's so many words that you can add. Now you understand how this thing comes into play. So if you know the root word, you can start building the words. Okay. Yes. So good so far. Any problem so far? Yes, structure, very good. That has again been created with struct. That is the seventh word. Can you think of more words? Let's do this exercise. Can you give me more suggestions of the words that we build? Obstruct, very good. More words that you use with that you can make the words using struct. Arvind, if your question is if the question can come from outside, maybe you will be have some different word. Nothing, no concept will come outside your study material. But yes, when it comes to vocabulary, words and the questions will change. Of course, we will not give you as it is whatever is there in your book. Shreya, mistrust is a different word, bacha. Mistrust, struck, they're two different words. Yes, root of words comes between prefix and suffix. It can be affix also. Affix means that comes before. Reconstruct, very good. You guys are so many of you, yeah. Come up with one example at least. Let's build 30 words together. Instruction I've already written. Somebody asked me, ma'am, will the vocabulary question be easy to attend? That totally depends on your practice. Weightage of this chapter should be again 7-8 marks. I'm not sure. There would be about 2 or 3 questions. They could be about antonyms and synonyms. It could be of idioms also. Quick. Any more words that you can think of? Reconstruction. How about that? Reconstructive. Abstract nahi hota neha. It's abstract. Abstract is nothing. Structuring, very good. Yes. We are on 11 words. Can you think of more? Can you say restructure? Have I made destructive? No, I have not. Destructive. Infrastructure. Very good. So how you see, every word is related to building of something. Structuralism, very good. Instructor, very well. No, abstraction is different. Destructive, I think I've written. Structural, structurally, very good. Okay. Okay, so I think we are good so far. You've got what I'm trying to say here is that if you know a root word, that you then you can make so many words using it. And if you see all the 20 words that we have written here, that has something to do with building or not building something, but everything revolves around it, right? Okay, so now a few things that you should know theoretically about root of words. That is, if you understand the meaning of a common root word, then you can actually find out any new word that is made around root word, right? So you can build the words around it. I'm sorry, that is my daughter. I have a small daughter, young daughter, so I'm sorry. She was just running towards me. Okay, so you have a common word, and if you know the common root word, then you can make so many other words around it, right? Uh, but you have to be very careful because the root words can have more than one meaning. So you have to, I mean, you have to be very careful also. But yes, it can help you somewhere. So typically, I'm not saying you have to sit down and you have to. Okay, now stop building words that are not that doesn't mean anything. Okay. Okay, the exercise is over. You can stop and you can listen to me. You don't have to mug up the entire list, but then yes, you should know a few meanings. Clear? Yes. So shall we go ahead and do something now? Okay. Just to give you a hang of exercise, I think this was very boring. Now let's come on to this. I'll write on the, very commonly used root of words, and you have to tell me if you can think of words using it. Geo means, right? Can you think of words? Is thesaurus a website? Yes, thesaurus is a website. Okay, quickly think of words that you can make with geo. Any one, two example that you can think of. Geo, I'll give you more examples. Geography, yes. Geology, yes. Geologist, very good. Geographic, very good. Geometry, very good. Geothermal, okay, now you got an idea, very good. Now let's come up with port. Quickly think of words and tell me. No, George is not the part of it. George is a name. Like I just said, you have to be very careful using the root words. Portrait, okay. Can you also say airport? Import, very good. Portal, very good. Seaport, transport, very, very good. Export, report. How is airport part of this? Come on. Deport, very good. Corporate, no, 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 it's a corporate. The word is different. Protocol, support. Potential. But the root word cannot change. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now I hope you are clear with what root of words mean. Let me just show you a PPT quickly for your understanding. Okay, I forgot to tell you this thing. Root of words are the building blocks of the words. Yes, because you are building on it. If you know the root of words, then you can build so many words. I never. What is earthquake and what is earthing? Carriage. Now you all are getting confused. Sudesh, I think I have one more vocabulary class with you left. Okay, look at these examples. Candid is a Latin word that means glowing. So you can say candid, you can use the words candle. Okay, now there's a list of root words that are given to you along with the meaning. Geo is done. You have to make sentences with climb, hydro. Just these two words. And then I'm going to close this topic. Inclined, declined, very good. Hydrogen, hydration, hydropower. See, Khushi, that's what I'm saying. You can't use the words everywhere. Hydro is water. Hyderabad is the name of a city. How is this connected? Like I told you, when you're building words using root words, you have to be very careful. Not everywhere it will fit in. Any more examples? Okay, so I think you've got a fair idea about what this root verbs words is all about. Let's quickly now discuss the prefix and suffix, the concept of prefix and suffix. Okay. Now, prefix and suffix. So, prefix is basically a group of letters that comes in the beginning of a word, and this comes in the end. Am I clear? Yes. Now, if I say there is a word, for example, I'm using by, okay, and I make the word bicycle, right? So, by actually means every prefix and suffix also have their own meanings. Okay, so when they are attached to any word, any root word or any word, that the meaning changes us according to the prefix and suffix. Am I clear? Now, by means to and cycle. So the cycle that has two wheels is called bicycle. Okay. You have tried cycles also for the kids? Yes. Tri means three, and cycle is cycle, of course. So cycle that has three wheels becomes the tricycle. Am I clear? Any confusion that you have? Okay. So the prefix and suffix basically. And now if you know the meaning of a prefix and suffix, for example, by, try, whenever you will be adding the words like by and try to any sentence, to any word, you automatically means that it has something to do with two and three, right? Wherever there is by and wherever there is try, you know that something has to do with two and three. Am I clear? Now, these are the small, small things that you should know to build onto your vocabulary. Even if you have an idea about prefix and suffix, what do they mean? And if you have an idea about root words, this would help you to understand any unknown word also. You can find out the meaning, you can relate to it because you know about the prefix, suffix, and you know the root of the words. Even if you don't know the entire word, but you can at least guess that maybe it means this, right? So having a knowledge about prefix, suffix, and root of words is very important. Again, this makes your work a bit easier. It's not going to make you, it's not a shortcut process, but it will make your work a bit easier. Am I clear? Yes. So if there is any complex word that you have, if because of prefix and suffix, you can actually find out the meaning, what it actually means. Clear? Yes. Okay, now let's come on to. Okay, let me just discuss some examples with you in your study material only. On page number 3.18, multi. Like for example, the word multi. Multi is a prefix, and multi means many, right? So you can say multiplex. Now, what is multiplex? Multiplex is the cinema hall that has many screens. Okay, so when this the concept of cinema halls came, where there were about 4 or 5 screens, that is when we started calling them multiplexes. Okay, the next comes the poly. Poly also means many. Now, this also means many, this also many. You cannot say polyplexes. No, with plexes you will only use multi, right? With this you can use like polygon, polygamy, polythene. So these words will be used with this. Re is a suffix which means back or again. So if I say recover, they're coming back to their health, they're coming on to how they used to be, right? If I say restore, you are doing something, you're packing on your action, you're doing something again, right? So the idea of knowing the prefix is important. Then comes the suffix. Suffix is, for example, I will pick the option of logy. Logy is basically the study or science of something. Okay, biology, sociology. This always comes in the end, and that actually tells you about the science or study of something. Then comes ship. Ship is the state or manner of something. Leadership. That is the friendship. We are talking about the state of something. So are we clear about the prefix and suffixes? Can we quickly look at the practice example? Okay. Now, if I give you example of pre means before. Can you make words using pre as the prefix? Side by side, you can also tell me if the class is not boring and you're enjoying the class. Because I know grammar is more interesting. So I hope the class is not boring and you're enjoying the class and you are getting what most of this class. Good, reuse, refund, reduce, very good. Technology, physiology, very, very good. Prerequisite, prepaid, prequel, very good. No, wait. Articleship, very good. Okay, stop. So now you've understood what prefixes are and what suffixes are. Yes. Yes. Okay, now I'm giving you more examples to do because I am done with today's topics. So let's just do some more examples here so that you have a better clarity of what we are doing. Yes, and that just helps you and motivates you to practice at home as well. Like now you have to make words using miss, which means inappropriate, improper, or something bad. Then you have to use words using, this is prefixes. And. And means not or opposite. Suffix. Now in suffix, alvi in the manner of. Guys, whenever you're using a prefix and suffix, please understand it. Try to relate. Will this sense make sense? Will the meaning of the prefix and suffix make sense with the word? You have to check first before just using it as it is. Tude. Tude is state of, attitude, altitude, gratitude, or something like that. Then you have st, one who believes it. Clear? Yes. Ma'am, do you have classes after April? No, I don't have classes after April. Can you discuss some last year question paper? Sandhya, can you be specific? What exactly would you like to discuss from the last papers and which last year paper would you like to discuss? Misbehave, misfortune, very good. Unpaid, uncanny, unreasonable, very good. Unfortunately, misunderstanding, mismatched, unethical. I'm reading the words carefully so that those of you don't know, you actually hear and you also learn about these words. Unpredictable, unfulfilled, effectively, very good, respectively, unable, unblocked, unbelievable, unbreakable, understanding, mislead, misuse, miscellaneous, okay, misconduct. Miscellaneous, I'm not sure if can be used here. No. Like I again, now this is one example here. What do you mean by miscellaneous? Miscellaneous is nothing bad, nothing inappropriate. Miscellaneous is something which is extra. So, like I just said, you have to be very careful. You have to check the meaning. That is it making sense, Dashmeet? You have written miscellaneous. It is not making sense. MIS here. That is a word. How it is. Then misreading, misconceptions. So you are talking about, different kinds of things here. Misleading. This is exactly why I'm doing this exercise, because I know most of you will confuse it and use it in the wrong places. Mismatch, mishappening, misunderstanding, misleading. This is, if you understand, all these words have something to do with bad. And that is when these prefixes fit here. Miscellaneous, no, it is a word as it is. That is not a prefix in that sentence. Unacceptable, very good. Unknowingly, unusual. Understand, no. Pooja, see, you guys are coming up with words that doesn't make sense. In case of, I'm talking about these two examples, the examples that you have taken wrong. Miscellaneous and sorry. Understand, these are not prefixes, guys. These are not prefixes. Okay. Now I want you to understand one more thing. I'm sorry, that is my fault that I did not explain it to you. Whenever you break it down, for example, misunderstanding, understanding. If I remove prefix, understand can stand alone. In case of suffix and prefix, if you remove, you have to check. If you remove the prefix and suffix, the word should stand alone. Right? In terms of root words cannot stand alone. But in case of prefix and suffix, whenever you're adding a prefix and suffix, you are adding to a complete word in itself. Okay. Now here in miscellaneous, if I remove miscellaneous is nothing, which means miss is part of the word, not the prefix. Right? Understand, what is understand? Understand is a word in itself. This is not a prefix. You have to check this also. So not everywhere with MIS and UN will come, that becomes a prefix. No, sometimes it is just part of the word only. The letters are part of the word. So again, you have to check. This is the checking point here for you. Checkpoint. Did you understand what I just explained it to you? Uncertain is good example. Attitude is good. Yes, Mrs. Negative. Pooja, what do you want me to repeat? Please specify. Okay. So with this, our prefix suffix is also closed. Now you all have an idea what prefix suffix are, and I've told you how to check if in a word the group of letters is a prefix, a suffix, or not. You have to cut it and see if the word can stand alone. Right? There is one concept that I would like you to know. This won't be asked in your exam. The concepts that are mentioned in the boxes will not be asked in the exams, but you should know them. That is, again, for your enrichment of vocabulary. It is for your understanding. It is for your improvisation. You should know this. Such, jargon words. Now we have a concept of loan words. These words, having a knowledge about these words, will make your vocabulary interesting. It will make you how should I put it, using such words can make your conversation more engaging, more creative, more imaginative. So just look at this word loan words. Now what do you mean by loan words? Loan words are those words that are borrowed from another language and we use them as it is in our language. We don't change them. The words are, like, for example, bon appetit. Bon appetit is from French when you want to wish someone enjoy your meal. We use it as it is. We have not changed it in our language, but we have just, adapted it, incorporated it in our language. When we speak bon appetit, you can say bon voyage. That means, have a good journey. Ad hoc is for a particular purpose. So you know this when your teachers are hired on ad hoc basis, that they've been hired for a particular purpose. They are not permanent for the position, but they are hired for a particular reason. So there's some words that can be used, and you should know the meaning of these words because they're very commonly used also. Prima facie. Prima facie means at first view, at the look of something, that this is what I feel about it. Status quo, that means existing state or condition of something. Now, these are some words that I've given you. You should at least know them. Alma mater. I am the alma mater of so and so college. That means I have been a part of this college. I am a passer from this college. I'm a passer from this school, right? So you become the alma mater that because you were there at one point of time. You were enrolled with them. You were part of that organization. A la carte, this is very common when you go to a restaurant, when you're going to there's an option of buffet. So the waiter will ask you, ma'am, do you want a la carte or you want buffet? So a la carte is that I would like to follow the menu, I would like to order from the menu, right? I don't want the buffet, right? Because buffet is specific, I'll have to eat for whatever is laid down there. But in a la carte I can go through the menu and order whatever I want to, right? So loan words and borrow words is the concept. uh, Maybe some of you must be aware and maybe it's new for some people. So at least a list of words that are given, list of phrases that are given in your study material, you should at least know them, and again you can search for more and make your own list and go through it. Clear? Any confusion so far? Now, I am actually done for the day. So, in case there is any problem that you have, any query that you have, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll just have a very quick revision before the class ends. Root words, they are not meaningful. No, root words are meaningful, but they cannot stand alone. So, you have to add a prefix and suffix. They have a meaning to it, like struct. Remember, I just told you the struct has a meaning. Build. Somebody is asking me in exam how the questions will be asked. So if the synonyms and antonyms are there, the way I have asked you the questions, you can ask in the same format, or maybe you can just you've been given a simple word and four options, and you have to pick the synonym and the antonyms. Mostly the questions come from synonyms, antonyms, and idioms. Somebody's been asking me continuously what is the meaning of scrawny and slender. Now, scrawny and slender are connotations of the word thin, right? So basically, both mean thin, but scrawny is said in a negative connotation. That means somebody is very unattractively thin, and slender is somebody is very gracefully thin. So slender is has a positive connotation, and scrawny has a negative connotation about calling someone thin. I hope, Sandeep, you've got your answer. Puja, practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the better it will be. Like I just said, there's no shortcut to learn vocabulary. There is no shortcut to learn vocabulary. So you have to practice. You have to read as much as you can. Listen, watch movies or listen to the music in English language. Then only you will understand. That's how you will build your vocabulary. There is no author of thesaurus. Is there any author of dictionary? No. You can just simply go to thesaurus.com and you can look for it. I think I can practically show you this, how to use it. Let me share the screen. So you go to whatever you follow, you go to your surf from wherever you surf for information, Google Chrome, internet, whatever. You can just type down here thesaurus.com. Okay, here you can select the option of, if you see here, there's an option of synonyms and definitions, right? And you can just start writing the word, like for example, happy. Okay, look at this. This is the entire list of synonyms of happy. And when you scroll it down, you will also see the antonyms of happy. Clear? That's how you find the meaning. And also there is, if you see this, here the meaning is also given, the literal meaning is also given, and then there is entire list of synonyms, and then there's antonyms. Am I clear? And that also tells you about a lot of other things also, how to use it and all of that. So this I personally consider, or I go through this website personally for anything. So this would actually help you to improve your vocabulary, and it will actually teach you how to use them also, right? And I think you can also click on every word. So for example, delightful, gleeful, you can, when you click it, you see their literal meaning, and you can see their synonyms and antonyms also. The words can be used in respect with delightful, ecstatic, gleeful, overjoyed, whatever. So you can just click, and then the entire list of synonyms and antonyms will also be there. Anything else? I hope that helped you, the practical aspect of this. No, this is not the last lecture. You have one more lecture. Loan words will not be asked. This is just for your knowledge. Veni, I've been saying this repeatedly. And as a teacher also, I am not teaching you anything according to your exams here. I'm teaching you that would help you in the long run. So I suggest you that you practice everything, because that is going to help you in the long run. Please don't look at the short term goals. Don't look at your exams. I'm sure you will do very well in your exams. You will be, passing with the flying colors. But then you should know about all the concepts. So for your better knowledge and understanding. Preeti, I don't know why my name is not there in the feedback form. Probably you can call it ICAI and check with them. I don't think so. You need much time to give it to the English language a day, maybe a half an hour, and maximum 1 hour if you have time. All right, so that is it. I'm going to call it a day. Uh, I'll see you on Tuesday now. That is the last class of vocabulary. Please make the list of queries that you have, and let me know if you enjoyed today's class. If let me know if the concepts are clear to you, and and we will be taking the rest of the topics in the next class. Have a good weekend. Bye, and please stay safe. And practice the topics we have. We are doing it right now. Okay. I have answered this 5 times. No, this is not the last lecture. We have one more lecture to go. All right. See you on Tuesday. Bye, everyone.